Hello there, everybody. Hope you're doing well. My name is Kay Jewelers, and welcome to episode 3 of Who Wants to Be a Monado Heir. Today, I am joined by a fellow Xenoblade content creator by the name of SiG Net.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's good to be here.
So, SiG has done a couple videos so far on just the title screen. I believe it was the open worlds you also covered, and the most recent one was kind of just like a look back at Xenoblade 1, right? With DE?
Yep. So the first one, like you said, is looking at the title screen. The second one I did was kind of like critical analysis and comparison of it as an open world game. And then the third one, I call it a personal reflection in the title, just because Xenoblade, the original Xenoblade Chronicles, meant a lot to me personally and helped me a lot see things from different perspective that I needed to. And with the release of DE this year, I had a chance to go back and re-experience all that, and I put all those feelings into that most recent video.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. I checked it out, and I really appreciated it. And I guess that's actually a good segue there at this point. So, what's kind of your experience with the series? How did you get into Xenoblade in the first place?
So like a lot of people, I had a Wii and no other current-gen consoles at the time, but I was also a JRPG fan. And the Wii was hurting for JRPGs. Pretty much everybody knows about Operation Rainfall by now. That was what brought my attention to Xenoblade in the first place. And I picked up the game on launch whenever it released here in the States. And I've been playing the games ever since. I got, like I said, the original Xenoblade on the Wii, played through that, loved it. Got Xenoblade X on Wii U whenever it released. That was probably the game that sold me on the open world genre as a whole. It said, okay, these games can be really, really good, and I've just been missing out. And then Xenoblade 2 is my favorite in the series, and I'd probably say it's my favorite game of all time. I got that on launch, but I didn't finish it until like a year or so afterward. But
oh, really?
Yeah, it took me a while to finish too, but I love the series. I'd probably say it's my favorite game series out there. And it just means a lot to me. It's given me a lot to think about with not just like personal stuff, but just how I view games and how they can be entertaining and just fun, and what specific aspects make them really fun.
Right, I completely agree with that, and I've always talked about how Snake Eater was what convinced me about narratives in video games, but when I got to Xenoblade, that almost solidified it for me, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 really pushed that to how I think you could do a lot more creative things too with how series are structured.
Right, yeah. Definitely.
I always really like hearing everybody's experiences with the series, where they started, whether they started with like X2, and I think it is interesting to hear that like X was the one that kind of was almost a turning point for you.
Yeah, I never even expected it. Just given the promotion for the game leading up to it, I was like, oh, it's gonna have mechs, and it looks like that the mech combat is gonna be all that it's really about. And then I get into it, and it's so much more. You do feel like you're on an alien planet trying to survive and explore, and it's such a cool experience that I wish people could get more of. Nintendo, if you're listening, it's the only game that you need to port left to Switch. I'm just saying.
One could consider it a whole different planet if we're reaching into the grab bag.
Perhaps. We may need some bigger guns if we're going to survive on this planet.
But all right, Sig, our different lifelines that we are going to be taking a look at here. We have Shulk. So Shulk is the weird random lifeline in here, but pretty much it gives you the ability to see a clue to a future question. So for example, if you are on question number 10, you will get a clue for question 11 through 15, one of those in there, but you won't know which one it is. You'll kind of have to bridge the connection between the answer and the clue. Klaus is 50-50. With this, I will cross off 2 incorrect answers, which leaves you with 1 correct answer and 1 incorrect answer, which you can choose from. Aegis is your phone a friend. So you can call in a buddy, bring them in here. You're going to have about 30 seconds as soon as you start reading the question. And from there, hopefully you can get some help there.
Cool.
And then finally, we have Amalphus, which is Ask the Audience. I will put a straw poll in the chat for you lovely people in there to help out Sig and hopefully help him get the right answer here if he gets a little stumped. Do you have any questions about any of those lifelines?
No. I think that all explained everything, so I'm set.
All right. So guys, at this point, let's figure out if SiG has what it takes to become our next Monado Heir here on the show.
All right, let's get into it.
The first question is very important. For 2.8 over 2K Birth by Sleep Gold.
Okay.
Zanza's Monado, as first seen in the Mechonis core, could be described as what? A. A weapon that surpassed Metal Gear. B. Keyblade. Some say Kai, but the meaning is the same. C. An instrument of destruction and rebirth. Or D. An abomination.
This is hard.
This is quite difficult.
Because I see two answers that are very clearly correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go with A weapon to surpass Metal Gear, because the Mechonis, if you think about it, is just a giant Metal Gear, and Zanza's Monado, it cuts through it. So by the definition, it has surpassed Metal Gear. So I'm gonna go with A. Final answer.
I love your logic, by the way. Absolutely flawless. And you are absolutely correct. It is a weapon that surpassed Metal Gear, as well as a Keyblade, and an abomination, and an instrument of destruction or rebirth. They were all acceptable.
Perfect.
But, alright, yeah, that's just our joke bonus question out of the way. Let's get into the real stuff here. For 500 gold, what is the name of the location attacked by Indyline forces at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country? A. Sia. B. Spezia. C. Regidaria. Or D. Judicia.
This is exactly what I feared would happen. I'm already unsure on this one. My gut is telling me it's Spezia. That's the one that I remember the most from Torna. And I'm trying to remember, since that's the one where Laura and Jin had that thing happen, that really sad thing. I think it's Spezia, but just to be on the safe side, and given that it's talking about Indal, let's use a Malthus just to be sure.
Okay.
Just to make sure I make it past the first question.
Yeah. Alright guys, so SiG has decided here to use this Amalthus lifeline, which means that I'm going to go ahead and put a straw poll here in the chat, which will have all the different answers you can select from. It's going to be on you guys to help out SiG here, help him get this answer.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Alright, SiG, so the results of this poll were 3 votes for B, Spezia, and 1 vote for A.
Yeah, we'll go with B, Spezia, final answer. I'm almost positive that was it now.
Alright, SiG, you are correct. Spezia is the name of the location that was attacked by the Indyline forces at the end of Torna.
I made it past my goal. Anything else is up for me.
That's a W. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here with question number 2. For 1,000 gold, in the Project X Zone series, each of these Monolith Soft characters made an appearance, except for whom? A. Fiora. B. Telos. C. Cosmos. Or D. Melia.
I know this one off the top of my head. It's gonna be D, Melia. Fiora and Cosmos show up as playable characters in Project Cross Zone 2, and Telos shows up as an enemy. And Melia, unfortunately, once again, does not win.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, D, Melia, final answer.
You are correct. Melia getting shafted once more.
Poor girl.
Not a chance, unfortunately. And yeah, even like Metal Face shows up, that's just cruel.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go on to our next question here at this point. For 2,000 gold, complete this quote from Hugo in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torn of the Golden Country. This is the culmination of years of blank. Is it A, conquest, B, training, C, sovereignty, or D, battle?
Once again, my gut is leaning towards training. Since I think this is one of his post-battle quotes, if I'm remembering correctly, but I've only done one playthrough of Torna, so I don't know for certain. It's either training or sovereignty, I'm thinking.
Now, you do still have time to think this through. However, you also still have 2 lifelines that could be of assistance here on this one if you want to use them.
Let's go ahead and use Klaus. Let's do the 50-50.
Okay, so by using Klaus, we're going to go ahead and cross off 2 answers here. And as decreed by our Lord and Savior, our own Jesus, training and battle have been crossed off. So you're left with conquest and sovereignty.
Okay, I'm gonna trust my gut here. If I fail, this is gonna be an awfully short episode, and I apologize. We'll go with C, sovereignty. Final answer.
Sig, you are correct.
Oh, thank
For sovereignty. So this is a little bit of a curveball. So this is a culmination of years of training is Morags.
Right, that is why I was hearing that in my head. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And sovereignty is Hugo's from Torna.
Okay.
So that one was definitely a bit of a curveball there. But good job. You ended up getting past that. In the back, you still have Aegis and you still have Shulk to use. So let's go ahead and move on to our next question here and also get a little bit of a music change. Get some Mechonis feel going on in here.
So good. So good.
It is really good. The DE version's also fantastic.
Absolutely. I think I like it a little bit. Like you said in your video, they're on equal level, I think, for most of the arrangements.
It was hard. Like, if I went through and tried to pick which one was better, which one was worse for the whole cast, I would have been there, like, forever.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and see what you have here for 3,000 gold. Which of these songs is not used in the Xenoblade Chronicles medley originally created for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS? A. Engage the Enemy. B. Time to Fight. C. Mechanical Rhythm. Or D. Gower Plains Day.
So I know it starts out with Gower Plains Day. I know Engage the Enemy is in there, and I'm pretty sure Mechanical Rhythm is in there too. I'm gonna go with B. Time to Fight. Final answer.
Sig, you are correct. It is Time to Fight. Time to Fight is a song in Smash Brothers, but its own separate entity. Not in that medley whatsoever. Nice work.
Cool.
Here we are. The final question before we hit kind of our first checkpoint of sorts. For 5,000 gold, within what environment in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition does this song play in? Now with that,
Okay.
is that song attached to either A, the refugee camp, B, Colony 6, C, Grandel, or D, Machina Village?
That is the refugee camp. Final answer.
Sig, for 5,000 gold. You are correct. It is the refugee camp.
Music school finally doing something for me.
Yeah, we have 2 music questions in a row, just knocking them out right there. So how you feeling now?
I've used more lifelines than I would like, but like I said, I made it further than I thought I was going to. So I will take this W. I will take this W and go as far as I can with it.
No, I think you're doing pretty well. And you still have Shulk if you want to use that. And you still have Aegis to get a friend in here. Hey, that's stuff to work with. But how about we head into question 6 here? You ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Oh, also, you get a victory jingle. Let's go ahead into the next question here for 7,500 gold. Which of these notable features not present on the final designs could be found on one of the original design models of the Bionis and Mechonis? Is it A, devil horns, B, angel wings, C, 4 arms, or D, a halo? So, to clarify this a little bit, by the original design models, I mean the ones that they crafted as, like, in real life, as a way to kind of visualize how the world would be set up.
Okay. This is one that I'm not sure if the halo is a red herring just because of like the artifices and stuff in Xenoblade 2, since I know they have those there. The other thing is I don't know if the homie would know this one, so I don't know if I want to blow it.
Right.
The Aegis right away for this. Forearms, I feel like I can discount forearms and devil horns just because the Bionis already kind of has a single horn, and forearms just seems out of place in general for the design. And Monolith does love their Judeo-Christian references.
Amen to that.
So I'm leaning towards either B or D here. I'll trust my gut here on this one. Let's go with D. Halo. Final answer.
Sig, D, Halo is your final answer. You good to go with that?
Yes. Yep.
Sig, I am sorry. It is B, Angel Wings.
Okay.
So, on the model, the original plant model that they had, the two Titans kind of look similar in terms of the design. They both have blades, but the one, if you're looking at it from the images I've seen on the right, has two like giant angel wings coming out of it. It's a really weird design choice. But yeah, the answer for that one is B, Angel Wings.
Okay. Well, I made it farther than I thought I would.
No, you hit the first checkpoint though. Not bad at all. And that's a tricky question right there. I wasn't sure how many people have actually seen the like original design model images for that.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But Sig, I'm sorry. At that point, our game has come to a close here.
Sooner than I'd like, but oh well.
But no, I think, hey, you did pretty good with some of these questions that were a bit more challenging and everything, and I really appreciate you hopping on and doing the show with me.
No, thank you again for having me. It was a pleasure. I'm grateful to everybody in the Xenoblade community, yourself included, who has been very, very welcoming and has been very receptive to what in my head, I think is silly, goofy nonsense, talking about a fun video game on the Nintendo Switch family of systems. People, it's just as important to other people as it is to me, and being able to do stuff like this and participate with that is an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Of course, dude. Here. Like, it's whatever you make of it. And I mean, hey, I know you're on the grind, dude. You make really good content. And on that note, I also wanted to say, like, where could people find you?
So on YouTube, I have the channel SiG. It's capital S, lowercase I, capital G, then a hyphen, net, capital N-E-T. I have a Twitch, but I haven't started doing any sort of streaming stuff yet. That's SiG_net, in case anybody feels like following whenever I do decide to stream. And then on Twitter, I am SiG_GM.
And I will make sure to leave a link to all of these down in the description, guys. So definitely go check out Sig. He makes really good cozy write-ups and analyses just on Xenoblade, but also his first one was on Kingdom Hearts, and I think we've talked and you're planning on tackling some other series too. Well, guys, I think on that note, thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you're here in the chat for the stream, or if you're watching the video, if you're seeing this on YouTube, and just thank you for all the support and everything. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.